3 years have passed since Lille's remarkable Ligue 1 title victory, narrowly beating PSG to secure their first championship in a decade under Christophe Galtier. Since then, Lille's performances have fluctuated, finishing 10th under Jocelyn Gourvennec, as well as 5th under Paulo Fonseca. This season, Fonseca's Lille is in contention for a Champions League spot, currently sitting 3rd in Ligue 1. Paulo Fonseca has consistently used a 4-2-3-1 shape. This shape does change and alter into a 3-2-5 system when in the attacking phase of play. The 3 key players in the setup are Angel Gomez, who is seen as the creative brain of the side, Eden Zagrova, who is seen as the skillful wide playmaker, and finally Jonathan David, who is the prolific striker who is allowed to drift into the wider channels and link the play very effectively. Now, taking a look at the tactics and the tactical vision, which will be set to wing play. This approach emphasizes the use of the flanks, looking to try and create and facilitate in the wider regions of the field, also looking to try and pull the opposition backline into those wider zones, creating a lot of space in the central areas. What this can do is it can open up a bit of space for your midfielders and of course your strikers to try and attack into those central zones. Now, taking a look at the defense, and of course the defensive style will be set to pressing after possession loss, a very aggressive high pressing style of play. Once Lille turn the ball over, they'll look to more or less foster a 4-2-4 shape, allowing them to match up in a man-v-man situation with the opposition's backline, forcing errors as well as forcing the opposition into the long ball approach, where essentially the opposition will play into Lille's hands by, with that long ball approach, the likes of Lenny Yoro as well as Alexandro, they are very young and athletic and very aerially dominant, where they can look to win the ball back and circulate it back into your team's possession. The team's width will be set to 70, which effectively allows Lille to press high and wide, and it will often clog passing lanes and angles for the opposition backline to try and play into the midfield or into the further forward attackers, essentially again forcing them into those errors and that long ball approach. The team's depth is set to 80, creating a nice high offensive line, which will help support the team's pressing strategy. This will help keep the space between the lines nice and compact, enabling quick ball recoveries. It will also aid in maintaining possession and rotating the ball through offensive phases. Now, taking a look at the offense and the builder play, which will be set to balance. Now, this highlights the flexibility of this Lille team. They can choose to effectively build out from back to front, choosing to invite the opposition a bit closer to them before executing some really good solid line breaking passes, moving the ball slowly from back to front, or essentially if the opposition are aggressively pressing higher up the field, they can choose to execute effective line breaking passes, looking to try and exploit the opposition's high line and the spaces and the vulnerabilities in the defensive areas of the pitch for the opposition, and move the ball a lot faster from back to front. With the chance creation being set to forward runs, this will encourage the attackers to make deeper runs into the final third, creating a lot of good combinations and rotations in that frontline area, as well as it will also push the one selected fullback higher up the field to create goal-scoring opportunities for the front line. The offensive width for this Lille side will be set to 80, and effectively this will stretch the opposition, creating gaps between the defenders. The fluid movement in Lille's front line allows them to effectively exploit these gaps and create goal-scoring opportunities. As for the players in the box, it will be set to 6, allowing for a strong presence to be in and around that attacking area as much as possible, whilst also maintaining a strong presence on the edge of the area for the second balls and also to rotate and retain possession. Finally, as for the corners and the free kicks, as for always, it will be set to 4. Now, taking a look at the individual player instructions, starting off at the back with the goalkeeper, who will be set to having a balanced approach for saving on crosses, as well as being a sweeper keeper. Of course, Chevalier is a very good, proactive, composed goalkeeper under pressure, allowing him to be able to read the game just in behind his back line and allowing him to effectively minimize the threats that the opposition might look to pose in behind. At the same time, he is also very good at being able to play under pressure through the opposition's press, often looking to start offensive movements through the quick passes between his defenders and himself. As for your two centre-backs in Alexandra as well as Lenny Yoro, they'll both be set to conservative interceptions. They will be tasked with collecting the ball through the short passes from Chevalier as well as progressing it further forward, and also looking to try and maintain and dominate the aerial duels. Now, moving out wide to your two fullbacks. Now, Diakate and Ismaili have very differing roles, and this does change depending on who you have in the various fullback areas. So Diakate is seen as more of a centre-back, so his positioning will be slightly different. He'll take up more of that third centre-back spot and rotation, so he'll be told to stay back while attacking, have aggressive interceptions, invert. Of course, you want him being nice and close and tucking into the other centre-back, as well as step up. You want him also being very aggressive, imposing, and minimalizing the space and the time that the opposition wide player might have on the ball. As for Ismaili, he's got a bit more of an attacking freedom to his game, so he'll be set to join the attack, aggressive interceptions, overlap, and of course step up. You will see a lot of good combination play between the left midfielder and of course the left back. So of course, just a quick disclaimer, Paulo Fonseca is very adaptable to the nature of the individual players. So the likes of Diakate, like I said, is seen as more of a centre back, whereas Ismaili is seen as more of a bombing on fullback. The same could be said for the likes of Goodmanson in this role, as well as Santos. Now Santos will be a bit more of the attacking fullback, so he will have the essential bombing on forward, attacking, overlap, step up and aggressive, whereas the likes of Goodmanson will be told to stay back and invert and of course step up and be aggressive as well. So it does allow Fonseca to adapt his, tactics and style of play to each and every individual. Now, taking a look at the double pivot of Andre and of course Bentaleb, they are tasked with looking to try and break up and disturb the opponent's rhythm in the midfield zones, looking to try and shield the backline area as much as possible and look for the side to essentially regain possession through the likes of your double pivots. So both of their instructions will be the same. Cut pass lanes, you want them to try and, be involved as much as possible. Stay back while attacking, allowing them to provide a solid shield in case there are a few counterattacks that are launched on your side. The interceptions will be set to normal, and then of course stick to position and cover the wing. As you'll see here for the right DM, he is set to the same set of instructions as well. Now taking a look at the role for Angel Gomez, who is seen as the creative linchpin in the attack, he will have a very solid role of dropping a bit deeper, looking to try and get on the ball and facilitate for the further attacking players, as well as when out of possession, he can look to try and join up with the forward line and aggressively press the opposition's back line. Now, taking a look at the instructions, in order to execute his role very effectively, he'll be set to come back on defense, having a balanced crossing run as well as free roaming. He will be told and instructed to try and facilitate and create from those half spaces and make sure that he is drifting all over the field. And then, of course, finally, you want him to have aggressive interceptions. Now, out wide to your left midfielder, who will have a slightly differing role and set of instructions compared to Zagrova on the right-hand side. Heraldson will be told to come inside a bit more, looking to try and combine and overload in those central zones, combining very nicely with Angel Gomez and looking to try and facilitate and create. Essentially, what this will do is it will vacate that left-hand side, allowing for Ismaili to be able to operate in that wider left space. So his role and instructions going forward will be set to basic defensive support, cut inside, as well as maintaining a balanced support for the supportive runs, as well as aggressive interceptions and then a balanced approach for crossing runs. Now onto your right midfielder, of course, Eden Zagrova. He will be more of the wide playmaker from that right space, looking to try and isolate himself as much as possible against the opposition fullback, looking to try and take him on, beat him, and then whip him across, or maybe even put a shot of his own towards the goal. So his role and instructions going forward will be set to also a basic defensive support. The wider players don't always drop back as much as what you would expect, which has led to countless times last season and this season in a few errors and mistakes leading to goals. So the chance creation will be set to stay wide. You want him down that wide right space, allowing him to try and isolate himself as much as possible. The support runs will be set to balanced, allowing him to sometimes also break in behind with the penetrative runs, as well as looking to come a bit short and link up with the likes of an Angel Gomez or the likes of an Andrea or so on in the midfield zones, as well as the aggressive interceptions will be a necessity, looking to press higher up the field and win the ball back. And then, of course, just like with the left midfielder, he'll also be set to a balanced crossing run. And then, of course, the role of Jonathan David, he will be set to drift wide, plays a false line, and have aggressive interceptions, as well as come back on defense. Countless times we have seen Jonathan David drifting all over the field. Sometimes he'll pop up as a left back, other times he'll pop up in the midfield, and then of course other times he will pop up in the central zones, waiting and being ready to latch onto the crosses and the cutbacks that will be fired into the box. He quite often will be able to drift into the wider areas, creating overloads and combining very nicely with either a Zagrova or maybe even Heraldson and a Ismaili down the left-hand channel. You want him to have a good set of combination plays and passing sequences with the likes of Angel Gomez in that, number 10 role. So you want him to be able to also drop into that number 10 role and combine quite nicely with the other midfielders. Now, taking a look at the more offensive 3-2-5 shape, once they'll have established themselves in a game, they'll look to overload in the wider areas while still maintaining a lot of the possession and control of the game. This shape allows them to create countless opportunities inside the box, whilst also having a lot of attacking fluidity in the front line. Now, taking a look at the tactical insights, and there will be a few tweaks and changes compared to the more balanced conservative approach. So, starting off with the team's width, it will be slightly more widespread. You are trying to fit a lot more players into that front line for that aggressive pressing nature, as well as the depth will be set to a slightly higher line at 85. You'll see here for the offense, nothing really changes apart from the fact that the players in the box will now be set to 8, allowing them to try and overload in those more offensive areas of the field. But otherwise, everything else, including the corners and the free kicks, will remain the same. Now, taking a look at the individual player instructions, starting off at the back with Diakata, who is now set to stay back while attacking, have aggressive interceptions, and of course, step up. You still want him to maintain that very aggressive nature that he had as a right back. As for your left midfielder, of course, Ismaili now being placed as a left midfielder, he will be set to come back on defense, looking to show a bit more of a defensive support, stay wide, as well as looking to try and penetrate and get in behind as much as possible, especially down that left-hand flank. You also want and require him to have aggressive interceptions, as well as staying on the edge of the box, looking to rotate play, as well as supply crosses and cutbacks into the attacking third. Now, taking a look at the roles and the instructions of your 3 centre forwards, both the likes of Gomez and Heraldson will maintain the same instructions going forward. Both will be set to having a balance width, allowing them to drift all over the place, whilst also being able to drop a bit deeper, get on the ball, and look to combine very effectively with the 2 defensive midfielders. They will still look to aggressively press the opposition and try and, clog the passing lanes and make sure that it's very hard to pass out from the back, forcing the opposition into those long balls, as well as you want both the likes of Heraldson as well as Gomez to be able to drop back very effectively and again help support the defensive areas of the field. As for the role of Jonathan David, he will be set to drift wide as well as having a mixed attack, sometimes allowing him to break in behind, penetrate the opposition's backline, as well as still having the ability to have the holder play and of course plays a false line in certain moments. He will still also look to aggressively press the opposition's backline whilst having the defensive supports being set to stay forward. He will be the offensive outlet countless times when in transition. And there you go, guys. That is how I would implement and replicate Paulo Fonseca's 4-2-3-1 system paired up with the 3-2-5 scheme that they look to try and run on the offensive end. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Please don't forget to smash that like button and give a rating and all that good stuff down below. My rating for this system would be an 8.5. I love the way that it seamlessly transitions into the attacking phase of play, as well as, the defensive solidity at times. So it can be a very solid offensive set of tactics to go ahead and use. But you guys can let me know though down below. But right here, right now, we are going to hop on into the gameplay, where obviously I will discuss with you how you should look to try and set out the various different tactics, when you should look to maybe revert from a 4-2-3-1 shape into the 3-2-5, and we'll talk about everything else there on in. Okay, people, kicking things off here for the gameplay segments with this fantastic Lille side and these amazing set of tactics. We will look to obviously dictate the pace of play, and eventually, once we have settled into the game, we will be running the 3-2-5 system, which will look to dominate, absolutely dominate, overload, kill this Nice team. But right now, looking to run the play through the midfield and of course the centre backs, providing a solid platform to build the offense off of. A good offensive run there, and it's not meant to be, but we're still pressing high up, forcing the goalkeeper into that long kick, and Ismaili should be there to win the ball back, maybe. No, we've won the second ball, though. Solid play, and we've got the ball back. Look at that. Some really good offensive maneuvers. Oh, Zagrova looking to isolate himself versus the... Oh, that is cold, man. That was cold. That was cold! I am cool. And I am fantastic. We've got the ball back, though. Zagrova this time. Just looking to pass it back to the right back there, who's not supposed to be this high up the field, but it's fine. It's all right. Back into for the supports. That's fine. And look at Angel Gomez just drifting all over the field. Plays it nicely into Jonathan David, who bangs it into the back of the net. 13 minutes in, we have maintained possession. We've retained the ball. We've rotated it. We've exploited them in the wider areas with the swift overload of Angel Gomez drifting all the way over, combining very nicely with Zagrova. And then he just slides in the prolific striker in Jonathan David, who bangs it into the back of the net. And right now, Lille have barely had a kick in this one. A great finish, by the way. A fantastic finish, by the way. Beautiful stuff. Sensational scenes. We'll take that. Okay, so we've done a very good job. 14 minutes in, we've won the ball back. We've forced them long. We've created many offensive chances. Eventually, we will win the ball back yet again. Angel Gomez that time joining up with the front line. Zagrova, he's making a run in behind. Can we find him? Yes, we can. Up against the fullback in Marvin Bard, who is a very good fullback, and just throws off Zagrova at the last moment. We are actually going to swap, or not swap, but convert into this more offensive structure. It will help with the press, having more bodies high up the field. It will also help with the offensive system and movement. Ishmaeli pressing nice and high up the pitch. Okay, well, they've played through our press there. They have played through the press. We can't afford for that to happen too much. They're going into the wider zones. Watch the space. There we go. Also, a good, little tip that I would suggest is use your two DMs instead of your centre backs. Keep your centre backs in position as much as possible. Great block. Great block by Ishmaeli. Gets it forward. Gets into Gomez. Oh my God, look at that. Quick long ball, quick transitions. Exploiting the space, exploiting the vulnerabilities of this Nice backline. Okay, there's the space, there's the pace, and there's the back of the net type things. Zagrova and Angel Gomez combining beautifully. You saw the run, he slips in the pass, a little acute angle, reverse pass, bang, 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 back of the net type things, and it also led from, a goal scoring opportunity from them. There was a great block from one of our defenders that led to a quick transition happening. Oh, that ball is delicious. Simply, that's amazing. That ball is looking tasty. These tactics are very, very, they're wholesome. They're wholesome, good, offensive, solid, very enjoyable career mode tactics. Or even, just ultimate team or seasons tactics, depending on what you play, really. But if you are going to run a career mode with Lille, it's going to be a good career mode. You honestly, you'll play at least 4 to 5 seasons. You won't play like half a season and then get bored, because these tactics, they keep you on your toes. You want to do as well as possible. You have so much fun playing a very offensive, attractive, solid brand of attacking football. Good ball, solid ball. Look at that. Look at that. Continue your run. Continue your run. Why did Ishmaeli slow down? It's fine. It's okay. Into the likes of Heraldson. Heraldson, he's looking to combine nicely. Look at that. Look at that space. Oh, Jonathan David, he was drifting. They couldn't really get a hold of him. And they've gone along with it, and it's worked out very nicely. It's now into the possession of Cho down the right-hand flank. And he's being matched up by Alexandro, who has done a decent job there. I don't know what I'm doing here, but it's fine. It's okay. We clear the ball nicely. Not really. We almost made a terrible mess of that. Solid ball. Solid ball. Oh, I was looking for that quick pass into Ishmaeli. But it's fine. It's okay. It's all right. And it's now in the possession of Thuram. What is Thuram looking to do? He's being tracked very nicely by the captain, Andrea, who is also now being assisted by the tracking back of Heraldson. Very nicely done there, gentlemen. Very nicely done. But as you'll see, they are starting to come into it a bit more on the offensive end. So we are going to switch back into the 4-2-3-1 system, allowing us to have a bit more of a defensive structure and shape to our game, and just look to try and minimize the attacking threat that this team looks to impose on us. But we have a quick break here. Heraldson, he's going to go across the face of goal. Why is that such a bad cross? Zagrova, oh my God, he's put the man on his backside. Zagrova, little ball over the top. Andrea, maybe. And that's going to be halftime. I don't know why, I don't know how, but he just did not facilitate the best possible option there. But I will say, I am very impressed with how the first half tactics have displayed quite nicely. And as you'll see here and there, I will be shifting and changing between the two, which is exactly what Lille under Paulo Fonseca tend to do on a consistent basis. If the moment is there, they can flood men forward and create overloads. If it's not, they'll look to more or less retain their shape. Okay, so taking a look at the halftime stats, we have absolutely battered this lot. 60% possession compared to their 40, 17 ball recoveries compared to their 12, expected goals of 1.7, 4 shots from that, a pass accuracy of 95%, almost double their passes, by the way, almost. We've got more tackles, we've won more tackles, we've got more interceptions, they've made more saves than one. They even tested our goalkeeper. I know we've had a blocked shot there, but it's been a very calm and collected, first half for us. We've been very good. We've been on the front foot. We've been consistent with our attacking outlets. Zagrova has been brilliant with his ability to isolate down that wide right channel and just make sure he's exploiting the opposition. Angel Gomez popping up in the half spaces everywhere. That bird needs to shut the fuck up. Okay. So taking a look at our halftime stats at the break, sitting at 60% possession, fantastic. We have absolutely dominated in that first half. We sat back when we needed to. We got more forward and overloaded when we had to, and we had the opportunity to. A pass accuracy of 95%, a shot accuracy of... I'm gonna fucking kill that fucking Kappa budgie. Okay. So taking a look at our halftime stats at the break, 60% possession compared to their 40, 17 ball recoveries. We've been very active on the defensive end. 4 shots to their 1, a 1.7 expected goals. Passes, 56 compared to their 33, almost double. Also to go along with that, a 95% pass accuracy. We've put in more tackles, we've won more tackles, we've got more interceptions. Their goalkeeper has made 1 save so far. Ours hasn't really had to do too much apart from, you know, just build out from the back very effectively, very efficiently. Yes, I know Ismaili made a fantastic block that led to our second goal. But other than that, we have been very much the team in form, in control, overloading, creating, just piling on to Nice and their defensive errors. The likes of Angel Gomez popping up all over the place. The likes of Jonathan David drifting everywhere. The centre-backs don't really know whether they should stick with him or not. And you can see it's creating a lot of havoc and issues. And especially when we also changed to that 3-2-5 system with Angel Gomez now more centrally, allowing him to drop a bit deeper at times. Heraldson drifting all over the place with, obviously, the prolific Jonathan David drifting in from the right-hand side every now and then. So it is creating a lot of issues for this Nice team. Now, just taking a look at, you know, the possession stats and all that good stuff, we've maintained a lot of the ball down the right-hand side. We might need to get a bit more involved with the left-hand channel. Of course, the likes of Ismaili and Heraldson, they need to combine a bit more. But for the time being, the right-hand flank is looking super, super dominant. A lot of the ball has been, you know, with Zagrova and, of course, Jonathan David and so on. Now, for them, they've maintained a lot of their possession in the central zone. So it's going to be our job, as well as, you know, Bentaleb and Andrea, to try and, you know, break up that play as much as they possibly can, looking to try and disrupt their offensive rhythm. Because, yes, they've had 1 shot, but it was a good shot. A little bit of a better execution, and you might find them finding the back of the net. So we need to watch that. We need to be a bit wary of that. But so far, we've been very good. And then, of course, the final segment will be looking at the passing options and all that good stuff that goes along with it. A lot of passes down the right-hand flank. Good combination between 18 and 21, and, of course, 18 and 23. As you'll see there, Angel Gomez being the offensive linchpin like we had described him in the tactics. A lot of the offensive movements running through him very efficiently, very effectively. I will say this. I'm very disappointed in myself that I have not used the likes of Chevalier to be involved in the attack. I don't think he hasn't played 1 pass the entire game. Well, that's definitely going to change in the second half. We're going to look to invite the opposition, invite that press, have them throw bodies forward, and then we'll look to counterattack and exploit the vulnerabilities in their back line. But for the time being, not too bad. A bit more from the centre-backs as well in the second half. And like I say, a bit more from the goalkeeper too. Okay, kicking things off here in the second. We are starting off with the 4-2-3-1 system and shape, because I do think that they will look to try and throw the kitchen sink at us in the second half, especially in the first 10 minutes. But if we can, you know, find a way to nullify their attacking outlets for the first 10 minutes or so, it should be okay. Good solid ball. This is what I mean. Just invite on the press. Have Chevalier come up a bit more. Invite that first wave. What the hell? Okay, well, we've somehow come away with it. We've somehow come away with it. Little ball into Lenny Yoro. Bang, bang, bang. Passing it through the lines, through the angles. Zagrova, he's going on an offensive run himself, and Andrea has turned the ball over higher up the field. That is just not good enough, mates. Well done, well read, and well played. Okay, well, we are inviting the pressure, but not the pressure that I wanted. It's a great ball over the top into Heraldson, back to front football. The likes of Angel Gomez, he is looking, he is praying. Ismaili, he's got the ball now down this wide left space. Good ball across the face of goal, and the defender is forced to slide in there and just try and deal with the offensive opportunity that we've created. Okay, not too bad, not too shabby. The first, 15 minutes are done, and we are looking to establish ourselves back in this game. Back to the 3-2-5 system. The shape, the structure, look at that. Great little drifting abilities. Oh, you know what? That was so stupid and silly from me. I was looking for the little back heel quickly. I should have just collected the ball, calm composure, and found a better pass. It's a habit that I do have. I get too excited with the fluidity, the movement, and all that good stuff that I just try and do all these skillful things that honestly break down a lot of my attacking play. Anyways, it's fine. It's all right. I'm trying to get to that man right there. We've broken up their play, and we can choose to go longer with it. Into Heraldson, who's won the ball back nicely. Back into the likes of Angel Gomez. And look at that, Ismaili, big ball over the top there. Into the man who's won it back nicely. That secondary ball opportunity, that's what you want to see. Good little flick into... What the hell? Well, we've won it back, though. Good ball. Solid option. Nobody's picked him up. Heraldson this time, and he's found the top corner. Why did nobody pick him up? But again, it does lend itself to the fact that you have all these drifting bodies all over the place. The Nice forwards, the Nice backward line can't keep up with the Lille forwards, and they're like drifting all over the place. Because you see there, he's in some space, and then all of a sudden, he pops off the shot because the likes of Jonathan David, of course, let's not forget Angel Gomez, they have been all over the place. And again, the likes of Todibo, the likes of Dante, they can't even keep up and track the individual movements and the fluidity in the front line. So Heraldson has the time and the space to get on the ball and pop off a shot and put us well clear in this one. 73 minutes gone by. Very, very nice. We will continue with our more offensive structure and style of play because right now we definitely have got a foothold in this game. And we're going to look to try and add to our goal tally, hopefully, for the rest of this one. Good, solid play. Well read there from Lenny Yoro. Good ball out wide into Jonathan David. He flicks it on. He did win the header there. And maybe I should have looked for a better option. Good block from Alexandro. Solid. Super, super solid. Chevalier doing a very good job there, by the way, from passing out from the back. No, they are suggesting Cavallero to come on and play as that left midfielder, but that's not going to happen. We are sticking with the same 11. Alexandro, good defensive play, good defensive action. Dante trying to get there. Chevalier makes a great save. Wow, okay, so now Nice are starting to pile on the pressure and trying to get a goal of their own. Just trying to, spare their blushes, but that will not be done in this one. Defensive header, well done. Is that out? Was that out? I think not. I don't know, I really don't know. But it's fine. It's okay. It's all right. We will say less. We will say less. Good efforts. Defensively, well done. Well handled. Now, of course, they've got Latomba. I don't know. One of them. Looking for a bit more support here, people. Looking for a bit more support. Oh, I almost pulled off a madness, I almost pulled off a madness. And what an idiot. Okay, they've given the ball back. There's 2 minutes of added time. We're going to go and try and execute a solid offensive maneuver here. Bang. Bang. Good ball over the top into Zagrova. Zagrova, he's somehow still got the ball. In. Solid. Oh my goodness me. Good solid transcreation there. And that will be the game. I hope you guys have enjoyed the entirety of these tactics. And like I said, they are fantastic to use in a career mode, in an ultimate team. Very solid. You will absolutely enjoy them. And I really do hope you guys enjoy them. You guys can let me know down below in the comment section, all that good stuff. And until the next time, until the next one, I hope you have a damn great day. I'm out of here.